Yo, what's good? It's Skano. I told y'all so. So when this news about Diddy first broke out, I said it was a network, man. It just makes sense. We all, in light of the Epstein shit, it just makes sense. Common deduction that there are more people involved. You know what I'm saying? We know there are millions of perverts on the planet. But I was talking about a system, a network of pervs like in Hollywood and music, the entertainment industry. And apparently, it affects, it has infected, every level of society. So, the former CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch, you know, one of these top clothing lines. It must be a white clothing line, cause I mean I've heard of them, but we don't. I don't fuck with that. But this dude Mike Jefferies, um, apparently he's being charged with sex trafficking, prostitution, uh, some sexual deviance, maybe involving minors, male minors. So I do recall like they advertising, you know. Now this was early 2000s, you know, 2010 or so during that era. But I do recall the branding, the advertising was like, these young white uh, models that, let's be real, they were sexualizing these dudes. It looked like a gay clothing line. I'm be honest with me. Maybe that's why I never was on heel figure and that type shit anyway. Um, we fuck with Polo and Nautica. We didn't fuck with heel figure like that. But as far as A&F and this dude, uh, Mike Jefferies, he also has a co-conspirator, this British dude, Jim Jacobson. These dudes look like some weirdos. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. They just give off weirdo vibes to me. They say don't judge a book by its cover, but sometimes, yeah, you totally can. Um, and these niggas look weird to me. Um, but anyway, so he is being charged basically with using the company as a cover. And you've heard of these casting couches, man, in Hollywood and entertainment. And like I said, in some other circles. Um, but basically, what it sounds like, you want to become a part of the corporation. Uh, you do something for me, I do something for you type shit. So, coercing these young men into sexual acts. Um, it's been 15 John Does that have come out and with allegations against this dude and this other guy, Jacobson. Apparently, Matt Smith is the significant other of Mike Jeffries, also being named in this indictment. So apparently, he also had. Yeah, so, like I was saying, man, it's a network of pervs working. Not just in Hollywood, but I think we found out that any person in a position of power and authority, they darkest impulses, they will use that position of authority, you know, to you know, gratify their perversions. So that seems to be what has taken place. Like I said, this dude was procuring. He's being charged with procuring uh, young males to sexually exploit. And it's being said that in some cases, now leading up to these meetings or these interviews. Like these men allege that they weren't being informed of what was going to be requested of them. Like they wasn't, you know, expecting. In other words, you know, they were not compliant in these sexual acts. Um, that a lot of people will say, you know, it's sketchy. The truth probably somewhere in the middle. There's probably a lot of them that, you know, like I said, were victimized, and then you had some who were willing, because people are, uh, you know, in order to accomplish whatever agenda or goals they have, people are willing to go to great lengths. I would leave it at that. But so basically, dude was using you know, his platform as his CEO to interview these young men. But really, what he was running was like a sexual romper room. So the casting couch, like I said, these sex parties, similar to the Diddy. I mean, it almost mirrors um, the details of the Diddy's case. You know, so I mean, it's wild because some of these men claim that they were not with the shit, but dude pressured them. And listen, man, like I said, as a grown man, I don't see how you can be pressured into doing some shit without a gun to your head. And even then, I mean, you still have a choice. But at the end of the day, like I said, going by their word, um, some of these men, you know, feeling uncomfortable, like, yo, I'm not with that. I can't even perform what you. They were injected with some type of, you know, stimulant, basically to get, you know, to get an erection, so they could carry out these, you know what I'm saying, these different perverted acts. So, yeah, this nigga had a lot going on, man. And like I said before, man, it only made sense to me that there is a network. I don't think about these things often, but when the Diddy case broke, you know, it just got my mind. I'm like, this ain't the only one. And every couple year, few year, 5, 10 year, however long it is, we'll hear about, you know, somebody that, you know, like Epstein or whatever. But that's only the tip of the iceberg, man. So, like I said, there are a network of powerful men, and I'm sure there are some women involved in this shit too. But let's be honest, most of this shit, for some reason, men seem to be the most sexually deviant creatures on the planet. I guess it's our libido. It can, like, if you got a dark side, if you're a perverted person, that's gonna lead you down a dark path. But oftentimes it is men in power that are able to, you know what I'm saying, get people in compromising positions. And if you know what I'm saying, you have a goal, you have an agenda, you still got to have integrity as a person, because if you're willing to do whatever you have to do to accomplish your goals, will you really be able to look yourself in the eye afterward, though? That's what you got to ask yourself. So you willing to, you know, throw your standards, your integrity, all that, you flush it to accomplish this goal of becoming a fucking model? These men all doing this shit to become models. So the end goal, it must pay well. But as I understand, dude, you know, these fashion stores, like I said, they branding was pushing, like, and looking at the, you know, some of the images, these young half dressed as, you know what I'm saying, uh, men, it just looked suspect to me. Like, okay, I see who y'all catering to, you know, and it's like, you know, it's not on my radar, so it just, you know, like I said, went over my head. But now looking back on it, it's like, yeah, the shit, you can pick up the weird vibes of it once the truth come to light. Like, wow, it's right there in our faces, man. You know, and they be putting shit out there in our face, you know, and it's almost unbelievable, and it's really that. So, like I said, man, I'm getting off track. So this dude, basically, like I said, man, it almost mirrors the Diddy case where, like I said, orgies, sex parties, some compliant. These men that have come forward saying it was drugs, saying they were, blackmailed, woo woo. And this dude is facing life in prison. Interstate prostitution, sex trafficking, like I said. And this nigga just look weird, man. So, but like I said, man, it's a network, man. And if they really were to dig deep enough, the FBI, the powers that be, those who are concerned, there are many more. There are many, many more. So when this shit about Diddy first came out, man, cause we see these trends now. We had the year of the Rico, which is actually ongoing, but you know these different stages and phases in social media where, cause I know law enforcement, they own this shit, and these different phases, the year of the rat, um, and now we got the exposure of these different figures. That's like I said, man, this is no secret. I think a lot of people suspected that this was the case. How many more people involved, man, in government? Like I said, in all levels of life. You think there ain't some high-ranking government officials that ain't involved in sex trafficking, underage sex trafficking, from all over the country? What you like? You like Philippine? You like Chinese? Whatever flavor you into, they can get it. Male, female, and I know this sound pervert. It is what it is, man. I'm just. It makes sense that like I said, man, all levels of society. So we're not gonna act like it's just, in Hollywood and all levels of law enforcement, military, you name it. These perverts, they exist. You know what I'm saying? They at work right now. So no kids safe, man. And we had this rash of disappearances in Cleveland of teenage kids. It wasn't getting a lot of press play. And it make you scratch your head. Where are all these kids going, man? You know what I'm saying? They disappear, never to be found again. Adolescent to teenage, young adults, prime targets for the sex trade. But let's be real, these pervs probably don't really care about the age. I've heard, listen, I ain't even gonna go there. So, where are all these kids just disappearing to, never to be seen again? So we know it's like I said, man, these perverts exist on every level of society. And the higher up the food chain you go, the more power they have, and operating right under our noses, But like I said, man, if the powers that be really want to, you know what I'm saying, eradicate this shit, I really feel that a lot more can be accomplished. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like they pick and choose. They pick and choose, but they ain't really just kicking the door open on this whole thing because, well, sometimes people don't want the truth. You know what I'm saying? They really don't. So you let sleeping dogs lie until you absolutely have no choice. But like I said, if they dig deep enough, if they really want to, it's like you say, you go digging for bodies, you're gonna get dirty. But it is what it is, man. stay on your P's and Q's, man. You know, because you never know who around you is on whatever type of time. I don't drink. I don't party with people. None of that. You wake up and you fuck around, and things be different. You know what I'm saying? Things ain't how they supposed to be. So it is what it is, man. 216 Skano. You already know.